Cameron, what's this news about you traveling off to India for a project there? Is there anything you can tell us about that?
I'm going to India?
You are?
No idea. I have no idea what that is, honestly. I'm unemployed at the moment and I have no prospects for a job, so I'm just that's why I'm here.
Muy bien. ¿Y su compañero?
Hola, quería hacer una
How
pregunta.
was that balance for you?
Well, it's how it works. When you, a director like me, who's done movies up to $20 million, and suddenly you multiply this number by 7. You go into a room where you have a lot of people wearing a suit, and they tell you, you're gonna make, can you promise us you're gonna make this film a commercial film? I was like, must be a trick. Should I say okay? And I say yes, and I got the job.
Maybe that's a promise.
And I think, wow, that was super easy. You just have to say yes, and then you do whatever you want. The only thing is, when you do it, then you have a voice in your mind saying, I can promise I have to make it commercial. And if you're honest, which I think I am, and you could only be dishonest one time anyway. But in this case, I was honest anyway. So you think of it, and I think that how those people, they think that they ask you the dumbest question, but actually they are very smart because they sort of blackmail you on the psychological level. And then you make decisions thinking of the audience in a way you would not make it if you didn't say this promise. So that's how it works. So now I'm not sure I answered the question, but it's interesting.
It's a good answer to a different question.
He's also saying something about the retro, modern era, this sort of different.
Well, I don't think there is anything retro except we decided to go with the car from the 60s because all the design we went through were getting worse and worse. And the problem is that we had so many different opinions. And you have Neil Moritz, who is a genius of producing, but to me his car, in his movies, they look like a man wearing Speedos. Because it's small and colorful. And to me, my idea of a car, especially in America, is sort of a big, bulky piece of metal. And, so when we went back to the Chrysler Imperial from '65, it made sense. And it was, it's something we had a deal with General Motors that fell through, and it was a bankruptcy of car or building in America. And the fact that we came back to this car, it made total sense. And the great thing about it is we bought 30 of them, and we could slice them, hold them.
And they weren't that expensive. It was funny how our movie literally coincided directly with the crash of the American car industry. And like literally we get these calls where it's like, oh, GM might make the car, and then you'd be like, oh, GM's out of business. And then, oh, BMW might do it. Oh, BMW doesn't quite exist anymore. So it was really interesting to kind of have a front row seat at all that.
In the world that you're huge in Asia and a huge music star, and you've been in 2 very important films with 2 very big directors. What was your experience this first sort of more American film?
Originally, I'm a singer, but you know, acting, I try to do my best. So I can say Chinese. Sorry. La música is very important in my life. So director is a musician, so I know his movie should be many music, songs, okay, mix, action, funny, and something. So I say Chinese, okay. 所以我希望。
It's very good though. By the way, he started this movie phonetically saying his lines, where he just like sounded them out, and now he actually.
He literally speaks more English than I do.
对啊，所以我觉得这是一个挑战啊。那我觉得不管在西方有没有人认识我，我觉得这是一个开始啊。我希望 之后如果大家知道我的话，可以慢慢去听我的音乐，这是我的愿望，就让全世界可以听到我的音乐这样。
Esta vez ha sido un desafío para mí porque ya soy consciente de que no soy tan conocido en el occidente, pero espero que esta vez sea el comienzo y también espero que a través de mi película también mis canciones sean escuchadas en el occidente.
If I can just add, one of the funniest things I find directing this film or watching it is all those reactions of Jay, who said could not stick to the script because that's his script, so he feels the freedom to just throw it away. And every take is completely different. And then we got to Kato, to Jay, who goes. And I know, and I don't know if you know, the audience know, but I know that he has no clue what's being said. That makes it hilarious. But that creates a good dynamic, and there was another dynamic. It's like everything that Jay does is sort of like super cool, and everything that Seth does is kind of clumsy a little bit. So it was this sort of, it balances out. Like Seth is very at ease with the language, and Jay is very at ease with his body or his attitude, and so it was a very good dynamic that made the chemistry work.
And then you add Michelle's accent to English.
What accent?
It's funny that you said this is his first American movie, because I would call this an American movie in the loosest sense of the word. I think Cameron's the only American sitting on this, in the home, involved in the whole movie, essentially.
My accent is from Boston.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the South of the French accent, and there's many times where Jay understood Michelle better than I did. I'm like, what are you saying?
He's good.
Like, could you just like say slowly?
What's funny for me when I watch the dailies of the film and I hear the voice, I hear my direction, which amounts to and I see the actor. There is this moment of total they're lost. It's a sort of micro chaos in their mind. Who makes them at their best? Actually, that's my secret to have a award-winning performance.
There's many times where I'm like, wait, come over here. Let's break this down. Let's start from the beginning.
I just go. I pretend I heard what he said and just do it.
Perfectamente, ese tipo de personajes.
So the second question is for you, Christoph. The last two roles that you've been seen in Glorious Bastards and in The Green Hornet, you're a villain, but with a touch of humor and sort of comical. So how do you pull that off so perfectly?
There is no contradiction between what would generally be referred to as evil intentions and a sense of humor. Both are very personal points of view. So I don't really think about it that much. Forgive me if I've said this before, but I just take care of the details. It's the director who puts it together. And I just do, in all seriousness, what I'm supposed to do. And I take it from the script, if there is one.
If there is one, which we sometimes provide.
At least for a quick look at it.
For a glance.
So I just, I take the details seriously and I do it. And then I hope for the funny people to put it together in a funny order or in a funny context, or so the comedy is a result. What I do is just what I do.